Often called fake pot and often advertised as being legal.
Chemicals sprayed on plants and sold in packages that clearly say not for human consumption.
They cause psychotic reactions, kidney failures, and suicides. Law enforcement, though, is having a tough time just keeping ahead of the chemistry involved.
Emergency room visits tied to a popular street drug called Spice are skyrocketing. The drug is known as a synthetic version of marijuana that's legal.
When I first laid eyes on his forehead, I just knew it was him, and I was like, boy, this is real.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I got up that morning and I was getting ready to go to work, and of course it was summertime, you know, and my daughter, she got up that morning and she said, I just have this weird feeling, Mom. And you know, I had just talked to him, well, not talked to him, we text back and forth the night before, and I was like, I just talked to him, you know, he's good. He says he's okay. He sends his love. I'm sure he's fine.
I've been a victim advocate, and that's what I was doing before I came to Impact Futures. And the K2 phenomenon hit at the same time I started. And so the only thing we could think of while we were trying to fix our grant was, man, we got to do something about this. We got to fight. We got kids having heart attacks at 18 years old. Kids flatlining before they, you know, in the truck.
We started noticing a change in him. I mean, it wasn't like distinct. We just kind of thought it was like typical adolescent rebellion, you know, rebellious behavior. And at that time, when he started middle school, I was married, and so you know, like I said, then my husband and I thought that it was just normal.
In the last 4 or 5 years, there was an attempt, and I believe it was mostly driven because of the illegal nature of other substances people like to use, where, you know, bath salts and K2 or Spice or some other designer drugs really sort of hit the streets. And you know, I think the grand plan was that here's something you can use, you can get a similar high, but it's not illegal. And there's no stereotypical user for those things. So you can't always tell by looking. You can recognize patterns of behavior. You can say, I've seen something like this before, but frequently we don't find out at the time. The other big problem with the designer drugs or the synthetic drugs is that their effects are very unpredictable.
So I went back, and when I got to Sam's house, what I seen totally shocked me. You know, he was hallucinating. He was talking to other people. He was, you know, just sweating, pouring sweat, and it was very cold. So I just kind of asked him, son, what's wrong? You look sick. And he said, I am. And he shared with me that he had been throwing up blood. And so I told him, well, we're going to get you to the hospital. I'm going to get you to the doctor. We're going to see what's going on. Long story short, you know, he was addicted to K2.
When you're looking at which substances to ban from K2, for example, they'll list out all these different substances in proposed laws. Well, they're not the only ones reading this. The chemists that are creating these drugs that are deadly to our children are reading those as well. So by the time the law is passed, there are already 1 or 2 generations of new K2, new synthetic drugs, ahead of the lawmakers.
They're getting away with it in some jurisdictions because the statute is drafted in a strange way. All I have to do is put a chemist on the stand to prove that it's heroin or cocaine or methamphetamine. With K2, there's an extra step I have to take.
only method that we have to test synthetics is with Raman spectrometry. Since that, it's given us a way to test the synthetics. The only other way that we have been able to do it is send it to private labs.
With K2, I have to prove that it is a synthetic chemical that affects the cannabinoid receptors in the brain and that it mimics the effects of natural marijuana. Many jurisdictions, the prosecutors just are not sure how to do that, how to get there.
There's no manufacturer, there's no distributor, there's no packer. There's no list of ingredients. You are violating, and that is it's Texas Penal Code 32.42, and it's the deceptive business practices. It is illegal to sell a commodity that has not been packaged appropriately, you know, again with at least the packer name or the distributor name, but it needs to have the manufacturer name.
Whenever you have an addict in the family, that throws everything off in the family, and it's very easy to be an addict of the addict. My goal in life, my main goal in life was to get high. Not even get high. My main goal in life was to stay out of reality. Get as messed up as possible because I did not like reality. And that was my life. And I was basically in existence, not even in a life. And so the importance of, you know, going from not only destroying my life by making all these poisons, you know what I mean, and distributing them to other younger kids that are 10, 11, 12 years old, and ruining my own life and everybody else's around me, I don't know, it's night and day today, man. And to be able to come over here and talk to all these kids, you know, and be completely open about everything, you know, and show them the real side of this drug, you know what I mean? People think they have so many false understandings of it being a safe and alternative drug to marijuana or being all natural, you know, coming here and telling them, no, I made this stuff, 13 years old, I made this stuff, hi, it didn't matter, you know what I mean? I went around pouring chemicals in bathtubs and gave it off to the next person down the line that was standing in the store. I mean, and they had no idea that it was me that just got done making that. I would just sit there and laugh and say, good luck, you know? I mean, it's I don't know, it's nuts. It's really cool to be able to do something like this because, I mean, there's one thing I can sit here and dwell and beat myself up for the actions that I've done and hate myself for selling and distributing and making all these poisons and then giving them out, but that's the past, you know. What I have control over is not my disease anymore. What I have control over and what I'm responsible for is my recovery.
I would tell any child to be bold enough to tell people no, because this is my testimony. This is my witness. K2 causes harm.
Like any parent, I'd give anything to trade places with him right now just to give him another chance. Because I've already, you know, lived a good chunk of my life, you know. He didn't even really get a chance to live. He never got to learn how to drive. You know, he'll never get to see his sister graduate. He'll never get to have children. He'll get married. It's just gone.